Hello everyone and welcome to Anime Chan. This is my reaction video for Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 Episode 9. And as usual, I will do my review video separate. I believe I will do a review video this week, but it also depends on the episode. Maybe I do two episode reviews next week. We'll see how the episode goes. I did already post today a video before this discussing the Annie eats pie scene and someone's small beef with me. But yeah, I just felt like something needed to be cleared up, and I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about why I like that scene. Because although obviously no one has to like the scene, but I did find it the criticism of the scene of some people seemed like a little bit off to me, like they were looking for something to complain about, because the last episode kind of started to take a turn, if you know what I mean. But I'm not getting my hopes up. For me, it was a good turn. I loved the last scene, but yes, I don't want to get my hopes up, because as I have been saying to myself from the very first season, you cannot hope for a horror story with a happy ending. That was the words out of the MC's mouth in the first season. So to me, I'm just not expecting, happy-go-lucky ending. I personally am expecting, we only have a couple of episodes to go, but I'm expecting a satisfying ending, like conclusive, but not happy and yay, oh, everyone's happy. No, you cannot, not for this show. But anyway, there's still time, and apparently, I'm not sure if this is like confirmed, I think it is though, Season 4 Part 2 will only adapt up to chapter 130, but I don't know what that means, because I haven't read the manga to there. So that means there will be like, I don't know, 9-10 chapters left, and that might be turned into a movie, but once again, I don't know. This is just rumors that I read about on Twitter. If you guys know more details, you can, comment in the comment section. So before I get started, I just want to say I hope you guys are doing really good. I hope you had a nice weekend. I had a really nice weekend of streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today I spent time with Tama and Yuki. They came by at like 1 o'clock. We had sushi, so like Yuki made, they got fish and chicken and shrimp and avocado. I tried natto, but I didn't like the natto. And there was also like turkey. I forget some of the names, but it was very delicious, and we kind of did like hand rolls, wrapping it in seaweed. So that was really delicious, and then we went to the beach, and then we played games. I watched one episode of Hellsing with them. So that was all really fun. I had a really nice day, and I hope you guys did too. But now it's time to take a deep breath and see what today has in store. Because like I said, even though last time I felt good at the end of the episode, because I feel like things were finally turning in the more or less right direction, I know that in the end the story won't leave me feeling happy. One more thing before I get started. I watched the last Attack on Titan video on Sunday, right? And then on Tuesday I watched episode 54 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Okay, and that episode was like, it aligned perfectly with episode 9 of Attack on Titan. Like, it came at such a perfect time, and it was just so good, and my reaction was like so great. So if you haven't watched it, but I'm sure you have, watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and especially if you've already watched it, rewatch episode 54. I think it's such a great, a meaningful episode, and it links so well with some of the themes in Attack on Titan. So I'm very happy that I'm watching the two anime kind of side by side. I think it will be interesting in the future to talk about and compare some themes. But both are one of my favorites. I actually moved FMAB up on my favorites list, but both are in my top 10. So yeah, love both. And if you haven't watched FMAB, definitely you will like it if you like Attack on Titan. Okay, so remember to watch Attack on Titan on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll and Funimation have merged their libraries. I do have Crunchyroll and I do pay for it premium, but sadly the servers in South Africa are really bad. They buffer often, so I just don't want to risk reactions with that. But yeah, okay, sorry for the long intro. Let's go. Oh, this is how it came together. But you know that's not the right thing to do.
よく来たね、じゃん。ミカサから状況を聞いたところだ。現場にいなくて申し訳ない。過酷な状況下でよくやったよ、君たちは。エレンを止めるためだ。皆殺しは間違ってる。
どうやって止めるんですか？
まず協力者を集める。何ができるかは協力者次第だ。だが君たちや9つの巨人がなければ何もできない。従来の兵団組織は壊滅して、もう私は君たちの上官でもない。その上で聞くけど、
やります。これ以上エレンに虐殺なんてさせたくありません。それが私たちやこの島を守るためであっても、エレンを止めたいんです。
エレン
Wait,
が
wait,
失
wait,
踪。
wait. I just quickly want to say something about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This Mikasa's words specifically makes me think about FMAB episode 54 when there's a character that doesn't want Mustang to do something because they don't want Mustang to lose himself. So I don't want to spoil too much for those of you that haven't watched it, but that is where the themes link. Even though what that character was doing, many would say is right, the people who love him don't want him to lose himself in a sense and to go the wrong path, even if it's the right thing. So that is what episode 54 of FMAB was just like. It summarized it so perfectly, and I think that is how Mikasa feels in this moment. Even though she can probably understand that Eren is doing it to protect the island, she doesn't want him to go that way. But I fear maybe it is already too late.
私が思うに、マーレからすれば島に奇襲を仕掛けた途端、地ならしだ。少なくとも今後しばらくはこの島に手は出せないと思う。
でもそうやって可能性を探してるうちに時間が過ぎて何一つ解決できなかった。だからエレンは世界を消そう。
虐殺はダメだ。これを肯定する理由があってたまるか。逃げようとしていたんだよ。全てを捨てて、全て忘れて生きようって。でも私はまだ調査兵団の団長だ。人類の自由のために心臓を捧げた仲間が見ている気がする。大半は壁の外に人類がいるなんて知らずに死んでいった。だけどこの島だけに自由をもたらせばそれでいい。そんなケチなこと言う仲間はいないだろう。虐殺を止めることができるのは今しかない。
アンジさん、俺はまだ調査兵団です。
誰か手伝ってくれないかな。睨み合ってないでさ。
散々殺し合った者同士で飯を囲むか。面白いな。どうして気が変わっ エレン・イエーガーを放っておけばお前らが望む世界が手に入るのだぜ。
The world they wished for? Do you think they wished for a world where it's just them? I don't think you know what they wished for, dude. Maybe don't be antagonizing right now.
島の悪魔どもの楽園がな。我々はあと少しのところでエレンとジークの接触を阻止できた。お前らが奴らの手助けをしなければな。
説明した通りだよ、元帥殿。私たちは虐殺なんて望んでない。
つまり正義に目覚めたというわけか。
正義だと？今正義を語ったのか？あんたらが送り続けてきた巨人に抵抗してきた俺たちが悪だったのか？あのな、そもそも壁破られて目の前で母親が食い殺されていなきゃな、エレンはこんなことしてねえよ。血ならしまで追い詰めたのはお前らだろうが。
おい、今さら歴史の話をしようっていうのか。にマーレを苦しめ蹂躙したのはエルディアだってことぐらいは理解してるんだろうな。
2000年も前のことでいつまで被害者面してやがる。
まったくガキと話してるようだ。そのようなたわごとが実在する2000年の歴史に
Wow! The author is like literally now bringing together the fandom's arguments. No. Wow.
ああ、やめよう。見たわけでもない2000年前のいざこざ話なんて退屈だ。私たちは外の世界で数ヶ月暮らした。もう何も知らない島の悪魔には戻れない。
エレンを殺せるの？
Do they want to kill him or do they want to stop him or is it one and the same? I'm not sure what their intentions are yet. Let's find out, I guess.
エレンを止める方法は殺すだけじゃない。あんたならそう言うと思ったけど、それじゃあ何？説得でもするの？
それはわからないよ。エレンと話してみないと。
じゃあ対話が可能だとして、それでも虐殺をやめてくれなかった時はどうするの？やっぱりね。マーレに故郷を持つ私たちがエレンを殺そうとするなら、あんたらはエレンを守るために私たちと戦うことになる。きっと。結局はそうでしょ、ミカさん。あんたにとってエレンより大事なものなんて考えたこともないだろうからね。つまり私を殺すべきだと。
レオンハート。
私もエレンを止めたい理由は一つ。マーレにいる父親を殺されたくないから。だからあんたの助けがいる。説得してエレンを止められるのならそれでいい。少なくともその時まで私たちは争うべきじゃない。分かった。
ライナー・ブラウン、あなたが壁に穴を開けたことでどれだけのエルディア人が巨人に食い殺されたでしょうね。アニー・レオンハート、あなたも随分と調査兵団を殺したそうですね。ついでにストヘスクでも大勢の住人を踏み潰したとか。ああ、もちろんパラディ島の皆さんも。普段は良識人のあなたがあそこまで派手に軍港を破壊するとは、アルミ。
I know, right? This all was kind of touched on in the video I posted earlier today about the Annie Eats Pie scene. I talk a little bit about this stuff, so definitely if you have some time, it's just like a 20-minute video.
ガンジンを含めどれだけの死体の山と戦果を上げたことでしょ 皆さんのレベリオでの勇姿を私は忘れてはいません。特にジャン、あなたは車力を撃つためにそこにいるファルコ少年めがけ勇猛果敢に雷槍を撃ち込みました。そしてそこにいる少女ガビによってサシャが撃ち殺されました。サシャは本当にいい子でしたから私も悲しかった。しかし訓練兵から家族のように
And yet the only one that the biggest portion of the fandom, not the biggest, but a huge portion of the fandom seems to continue to hate is Gabi. So much hate for that little girl. Okay. Only because they knew Sasha. They didn't know everyone, all the people that Armin killed. They didn't know. But Gabi gets all the hate. It's very funny. In a very dark sense. But it's like some people just watch this for entertainment. You know? So they watch it to have someone to hate. Someone has to be the villain, right?
ありがとう、エレナ。お互いのわだかまりをここで打ち明けて心を整理させようとしてくれてるんだよな。お前も大事な仲間の頭を打ちまくってまで叶えたかった幻想的な夢が全て無意味に終わって死にたがってたのに。
Just to attain ended up failing, and all you wish now is death. Death and chaos around you. So you want to, like, they know the things that they've done wrong. No one is denying it. She's just trying to hash it all up so that they will be as miserable as she is and give up on trying to do the right thing. Huh?
で無意味に終わって死にたがってたのに。で、気を使わせちまった
な。確か彼の死に兄が関わってると言ってましたよね。もう兄から聞いたんですか？マルコの死の真相を。
私がマルコから立体起動装置を取り上げた。だからマルコは巨人に加え。
兄は俺の命令に従っただけだ。マルコは俺とベルトルトの聞かれてはいけない会話を耳にした。マルコが巨人に殺されればうまく口封じができると思った。俺、
マルコは最後に何か言ってなかったか？
俺たちはまだ話し合ってないって。
そう。
Isn't that a key phrase?
俺たち。
Isn't that a key phrase? Such an important theme in this whole show. I think, I'm not saying talking things out would have solved all the problems. Easy. No. But I think that many problems in the world could be solved if we did talk more. If we did talk earlier on. I think a lot of issues in the world could be avoided that way. Of course, it's not the answer. Some people don't want to listen. There are people in this world who are bad and they don't want to talk. But Marco wanted to talk. There are so many people that could want, if only they could have talked earlier on. Just think of how much could have changed. I'm not saying all the problems would have been solved easily, but in any fight, information is power. But I do think, both in this story and in our world, if we talked more, in small ways, small conflicts could be solved that way. Even in big ways. I mean, what happens at the end of a war? Eventually you're gonna have to talk, right? War happens because, okay, you feel like you can't talk it out, or you can't get what you want by talking it out, so you fight. But then, after the fight, depending on who wins, you have to talk it out anyway. The only difference now is that the winner has the upper hand in the discussions or negotiations. If only we could sort it out earlier. I know not everything can be sorted out that way, but I do think that there are a lot of situations in which people give up on talking too soon.
くに話し合ってない。だからどっちかが死ぬまで殺し合うみてえなことになっちまったんじゃねえのか。
マルコが巨人に食われるのを見ながら
Dude.
俺はなんでマルコが巨人に食われているんだと思った。そして怒りに身を任せてその巨人を殺した。よくもマルコをとか言いながら。
もういいって。罪悪感で頭がおかしくなっちまったんだろう。
許せないでくれ。俺は本当にどうしようもない。
もういいって。
すまない。
Okay. Just boys hashing it out. No, no, too far, too far, too far. I think that Reiner was still feeling maybe the most guilt out of everyone, or or not feeling more guilt, but his guilt is affecting him more, maybe, and he didn't, as he said, don't forgive me. He doesn't want to be forgiven. It's like he pushed John to, or someone to retaliate, to punish him for his actions, in a sense, because he didn't need to keep talking, but he can't forgive himself, and like I don't think he feels more guilt than the others. I just think that it is affecting him more, and that's why I don't see it as he wanted someone to hurt him in that moment. I feel like we've seen him almost basically try to commit suicide, right? He's wanted to die, and that's why I think that he was pushing for someone to retaliate, but this is not what they need right now.
Okiro.
He didn't leave!
No.
Because he's a good boy. He's done bad things, but he's a good boy. Like what I mean with that is I understand at this point no one is blameless, right? But at the very least, I feel these characters are trying to do the right thing, and I can get behind that. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate them for that. It's once again, and I'm sorry to bring it up, like it reminds me of If Maybe, the character. Spoiler alert! Mute me until I play again, okay? If you haven't watched If Maybe, it's like Mustang from If Maybe, where he has done bad things, and he acknowledges that, but he wants now to change things and make right for what he did. And after he makes right, he doesn't know, he will always be a war criminal, you know, he will always have done those things. So once he has done the right thing, he accepts the fact that he will still be a war criminal. He might still be, what will happen to him after he fixes, or what will happen to him after he does the right thing? He's still a war criminal. People will still, the possibility is there that he cannot be forgiven. People will still, the people with the red eyes, I forget their name now in the story, they have every right to, after what he's done, retaliate and treat him as a war criminal, punish him, imprison him, and he still chooses to do the right thing despite that very likely possibility. He wants to accept that punishment, and he thinks, and that's why I like that character so much, his character, because yes, he's done bad things and he's aware of that, but he will still do the right thing, and he will still whatever their punishment may be, whether or not they pardon him or not, he is willing to accept what comes after doing the right thing. And I feel like that is what they're doing now, and why I can get behind them trying to do the right thing in my eyes. They're aware that they've all, at this point, no one is blameless. There is no level anymore to who is worse. Okay, I feel like it's past that point. But now they have a chance to change things, to get back on the right track, so to speak. And I feel like why I appreciate them so much is because they do that despite knowing after that we don't know what could happen, but right now they want to do the right thing. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to.
ガビ、蹴って悪かった。大丈夫か？
大丈夫。平気。
そうか。ライナー、お前には謝らねえからな。
ああ、それでいい。
港がイエーガー派に占拠されています。おそらくは機関車で先回りしたのでしょう。対巨人用装備の兵士たちが多く、戦闘態勢でした。
世界を救うためエレンを止める。
What's that? What? A special ship? Aren't those maybe the ships that they wanted to make with that special ore or something?
そう決めた者たちの前に、かつ
The former allies are standing in their way.
ての仲間が立ちふさがる。次回、裏切り者。
裏切り者。Wow. Today's chapter was called... I forget. Okay, so I feel like I have enough time left. I have 20 minutes left to maybe finish up my thoughts on this episode in this video. And then score the episode. And then next week I can address any comments or so. So let me finish up. First of all, I want to say is that I know that this is not going to be a popular episode. And it's just interesting to me. Nothing wrong about it. Let me explain. Remember Sergeant Gross's words. He looks like straight into the camera and he talks about how people like to see these horrible things. Right? And to me that is a very interesting take, a very interesting thought, and it has such far and deep implications. I myself fear to think about it too much. And that's why I won't go into detail about it. But maybe in the future I will mention it. But right now, even for me, it sounds too horrible to consider as a possibility. But that is why these episodes are just not as popular. Not just the reactions, but the episode itself doesn't get as high score because it is so focused on the characters and the message of the show, and the majority of people, and that, like I said, not a bad thing necessarily, but the majority of people, we chase in our lives most of the time excitement and thrills, you know, and people don't get a thrill from meaningful character interactions and personal development. Lessons of morality and thoughts on right versus wrong, the possibilities that are there. Obviously it's not black and white, but I still think that even if something is not black and white, it blurs. There's still a part. There's still a part that is, you know, right versus wrong. There's still, I get that it's blurry, but I believe that there's still things that are more right versus things that are more wrong. You know, we can all think of some extremes. But that conversation also goes very deep because it also depends, like, on how you see humans. If you just see us as animals that live in the wild, technically we can do no wrong. And that's, I mean, by our definition of what we as humanity have decided right and wrong means, right? So we don't see a lion that eats a deer. We don't see that as right or wrong, because the lion has no concept of, he has not that type of understanding, whereas we are, I don't want to say sentient, this might not be the right word, but we are not the same as lions and deer. So that's why we have come up with the words, the meanings of right and wrong. It's defined by us. But I still think that even on a spiritual level, it holds some truth. So even though, yes, I understand that nothing is black, white, right, wrong. It blurs, the line blurs, yes. But there's still, if you see here, what I mean to say is it's not like, where's my, I'm not going to pick up my whiteboard now. But it's not like this page is half and this side is right and that side is wrong. This is very blurred, but the line is blurred. It's not such a straight line, but there's still at some point you cross too far, okay? And I mean this by our definition of the human definition of what is right and what is wrong, which depends. But for most people, you can say that there's a here and there is a here. You know, like, do you want to be skinned alive? Do you want to be raped? Do you, like, at some point, by human definitions of right versus wrong, there are some things that we can place here and here, right? But I understand there's a blurry line in the middle. But I do think there is a lot of value in having a society that has a good concept of right and that enforces right. Okay, obviously that's why we have judges and juries and to have fair trials when someone does something wrong that is not here. You know what I'm saying? But there is a value in having a society that has clear understanding of these things. And because how are we going to, the main point of survival, of humanity, of any species, is to survive. And I do think that we are more likely to survive if we as communities have a good understanding of right versus wrong and communicate within our society and other societies about that, and make sure that we stay in constant communication about our definitions and we don't encroach on each other's and do wrongs to each other's, because if that escalates and escalates and escalates, we will have war and we could end up wiping each other out, and nobody wants that. So not just in a intellectual right versus wrong way do I think it helps us to have these definitions. I think on a very on a very instinct, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but if any species' main goal is to survive, I believe that having these concepts and acting as good as possible is important for our survival. I went into more detail on this in my notes. I'm not sure if you have taken a look, but that's why, and of course I'm not saying there is an objective, like, you know how there's a law of gravity, whether or not we believe in it, there's a law of gravity. I'm not saying there is a law of right and wrong, a natural law, that it is still something that we have to decide, and we have to stay in constant communication of, right? Things that were wrong and 200 years ago is not maybe wrong today. Things that were right 200 years ago is not maybe right today. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that we have to be in constant communication with each other within our own society and other societies to develop our definition and get to the best definition possible, and uphold those definitions, because once again I think that contributes to our survival as a species, a human race, right? whether or not there might be something like a law of goodness, that is more of a spiritual, philosophical discussion, and I take that off the table. But in my very personal opinion, I do believe in the possibility that there may be a law of goodness, like there's a law of gravity, and whether or not that might come to something like the law of karma could be considered a philosophical theory about such a law that may exist, but I'm not saying it does, and whether or not it does exist, let's just take it off the table. There's no law, spiritual law about rightness, no natural law like gravity for goodness. Even taking that off the table, I still believe there is value in having good definitions of right and wrong, and acting in accordance to that, and continually developing it and adapting it and being in constant communication, because as I explained, in the end it is good for our survival as a species, because when we can live with as little war, as little conflict, as little fear for our lives as possible. You can take a look, for example, at I don't know if you've heard about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the very bottom is things like safety, food, water, so basic needs. If we live our lives, if we can live our lives good as a community, as international communities, I think it is more possible for us when we're not always fearing for our lives, fearing for war could break out any moment. It's easier for us to move up this ladder into self-actualization, which is what many people want. We all want to live our best lives, be our best selves, right? Well, many of us, not all of us, I guess. Some of us are maybe stuck in this more animalistic survival mode. But if we can develop a society that is just, good, we can live in harmony with other people, and I think that therein lies more potential for self-actualization. But then you think about Sergeant Gross's words. Peace is lacking something, and that is where I think a lot of people, and this is the scary part for me, are there certain people, is it a part of all of us, that wants conflict, that, like, think about it in a more normal means. Like, for example, I believe that my mom kind of craves drama in her life, when things are going too well, maybe she gets bored, and then and there's various reasons for that. It could be because she hasn't found a passion or whatever. She could get bored, and then she kind of stirs the pot a little by making a snarky remark, and then there's a fight, and then think about telenovelas with drama. You get caught up in the drama and the romance and everything. In a more light-hearted way, maybe we're all like that. But maybe that could be applied in a much bigger sense. If a society is too happy, too peaceful, do they make shit for themselves? Just, to feel alive, to feel the thrill? Is there a little part of each of us that craves suffering? That is the scariest thought to me. And there's other people with other thoughts that's why there's war and stuff, because on a subconscious level, maybe we gravitate towards it. And because even in war times, even in conflict, we can grow. Maybe sometimes during conflict, that's the fastest that we develop as a species, with technologies and stuff. So that's another take, but that to me is a scary take. I don't want to consider the fact that maybe we will never be able to get rid of war because people crave it. That's scary to me. But it's possible. Anyway, those are just theories, philosophy ramblings that the story brings up for me, and that's why I love these scenes where, for a moment, as I explained it in my video that I posted earlier, it's like we are in the eye of the tornado. Things are so fucking crazy. right now in this episode, I felt like we were kind of in the middle where things are still a little bit calm. We can kind of gather ourselves, recuperate. And I love these episodes because of the lessons I can learn from it. But it's interesting that these are the least popular episodes, the least high scored, because there's a little part of us that craves, like Sergeant Gross said, peace is lacking something. Oh, they're getting along. Oh, not boring. Want to see action. Want to see fighting. Da 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 da. And that is a, you know, scary thing to consider. But I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, you know. Obviously, just because we enjoy seeing people fight the monsters and each other and it's exciting, that doesn't mean we want to see war in real life. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that, but it is possible that it could be true. I'm not saying it, I'm wondering. Because it, like I said, it reminds me of Sergeant Gross's words. It rings true in some sense. But it's horrible to think about. Like even me, I understand when there's Levi fighting the Beast Titan, there's better visuals, the music, like we get caught up in that drama. So once again, I don't want anyone to feel like I'm saying, oh, you want to see people die, don't you? No, but it is worth considering. Like, is Sergeant Gross right? Was the reason why he was looking straight at us in that part because on a small level, on a subconscious level, we don't know it, but do we create drama and the bad things in our life because we crave it? Or, that might not all be the case. Maybe it's because just like these people, they get caught up in the fear, us versus them. Like, maybe it's not at all about what we gravitate towards on a subconscious, unconscious, there's the word, unconscious level. It doesn't have to be that. Maybe it's because in the real world, people just get caught up on us versus them. They're the devils, we're the good ones, we just want to survive, and the fight is perpetuated in real life. Horrors are perpetuated, not because on an unconscious level we crave them. Maybe it's just about we're trying to survive, you know? There's so many things to consider, and usually it's not one or the other. It could be a bit of both. It could be a little bit of that one and mostly just this. But so many things to think about, and that's why I like this kind of episode. But yeah, I don't have a lot of time left, so I'm just going to score the episode and hear your feedback, and then next time I will address that feedback. But for me, I love these kinds of episodes. It's very bringing everything back, bringing everything home, you know? I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so episode 9. Characters, I'm gonna give a strong 10. Hanj needs to go on my favorites list, on Annie list. She was already a favorite character, but she has to be in my top. Oh, she's not even. Bad. Add her. I can't believe she's not already, but she has to be, and I'm going to put her in my top 10 or top. I'll take a look now. I have top 12 boys, top 12 girls. So there's obviously a lot of favorite characters. Jean is there, Erwin, Levi, Armin. Goodness. Too many favorite characters. I have to go to the very bottom to see Hanj, okay? So let me just... I want to get her to the top because only 12 girls and 12 boys can actually is visible here. Let me show you. So only 12 boys and 12 girls are visible here. So I will put her. Where did she go? Here, above. Ooh. Where? Here, above Mikasa. Because in this episode, she just kind of voiced all my feelings up to now, you know, in such a simple, beautiful way. So there we go. That means that Nadeko is bumped off my favorites list. It's a bit sad, but it's okay. Yeah, it's a bit sad, but it's okay. I have to sacrifice someone. And please take note that my favorites list is not best characters or well written. It's my personal favorites. Okay, so let's continue quickly with the score. And honestly, Jean as well. But Jean is already on my favorites list. Maybe I don't have time to think now, but maybe by the end he will also be in my top 12. But I'm not 100% sure yet. I will wait. Let's see here. Okay, so 10 for characters, 9 for visuals. I really loved the use of visuals in this episode, the style of the characters, the style of the environment. Audio, same. I almost cried during Hanja's speech. 9 for audio, maybe 9.3. Enjoyment / investment 9.5. and story 9.5, which gives us a 9.5, and that is because this is one of my favorite. Yes, I love the high action, high visuals, boom 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 episodes, but just as much I love these quiet episodes, these episodes where everything is being brought together, characters are growing, learning, interacting. I am learning as a person. I feel like this story is changing me, gives me so much to think about. So that's why I love these episodes too. And I have to end the video quickly because I'm running out of time. Thank you guys so much for watching my reaction. I will see you next week for episode 10. Bye.